Well, hi group, it's Tuesday night, and I just wanted to personally give everybody the absolutely earth-shattering news that I am finally actually caught up with grading the first 4 weeks discussion board. And once again, I'd like to apologize for being so slow and to just say thank you very much for your patience. It's been a very busy time, and no excuses. I didn't get there, and I'm going to try to stay ahead of it from this point forward. Also thought that I wanted to give you just a little bit of an explanation of where we are and what we're doing. Again, I usually do this Sunday night, but what happened was when I looked at the video that was in the course already that explained the midterm and what we were doing, thought that handled it pretty well, so I decided to leave it at that. So let me just first say, back up a bit to the discussion board. I put up some general comments last week. It's gotten better, and it's doing well now. If you didn't get such a high score, it's for probably two reasons. One, you got to respond to several people to really do well. That's what makes the board work, okay? If you're just going to put in one entry, a couple people just put in one entry, never responded to anybody. That's not going to do it. Or maybe just responded to one other person. I can't have you do that. The whole idea is to help each other and learn from each other. But those of you who have been doing a good job, and you know who you are, I try to give everybody an individual comment. And as I may have explained earlier, one of the things I've learned, particularly in a course at the 400 level, sometimes it's best just to try to ask a good question and then sit back and stay out of things. If something's really worth my trying to redirect or do something like that, I will get back in. But I'm generally going to come back and just remind you that I'm reading everything. I'm probably reading it more frequently than you think I am, and just keeping abreast of where things are going. But the two things you've got to do, you've got to remember to be fairly deep in your analysis, and also make sure you're sharing your ideas and questioning and the ideas of others, and also making sure that they understand your points. A lot of these, you can see, are opinions, so they can't be right or wrong, and that's what we need you to do. Okay, the case that you're working on for your midterm, and I said don't be too long, but don't be too short. All right, looking for some good solid business writing here. It's almost as if you're consulting with this owner who has this problem. And just about every year we see it, we wonder what's going to happen. But the things a few hints, the things you got to take into consideration here, things like the competitive balance questions, because where you end up in the draft, that could definitely impact your competitive situation within your league. There are all sorts of economic issues we've learned so far, and if you've been reading in the text, as I hope you have, you've learned how leagues try to balance things, and revenue sharing, and how different leagues use different models in terms of even playoff revenue and ticket sales and things like that. So what I'm really asking for you is to make a good economically based decision. What would be best, in your opinion, for your team? Do you push to make the playoffs or don't you? It needs to be well reasoned. It needs to be well laid out. If you quote something or quote a source or want to cite a source, make sure you use a proper citation for that. All right, that's extremely important. Also, I am going to be reading these to see how well written they are. And I know somebody's thinking, God, he's going to look at our writing? Well, yes, I am, because this is a business course as much as anything else. The critical nature of things that you're going to be writing about means that you've got to communicate them well. So please look at what I put in for a writing standards policy. No sloppy stuff. If it's sloppy, if it's not well written, I'll tell the truth. What happens is I and a lot of other people are going to stop reading seriously after the first few lines. You may have some great ideas and great things buried in that paper, but if you can't express them well, guess what's going to happen? They get discounted right away. So make sure you're expressing yourself well. this is a critical skill that I want to emphasize in my courses and that we want to emphasize across the business school at Post. It's going to help you set yourself apart from others. It's a very competitive job market out there. You need to be setting yourself apart in a positive way. The work you do in the classroom and at home and in your writing and in your expression is going to help you do that. So that will be coming into consideration. But backing up, doesn't have to be long. I'd rather have it be maybe even a little more brief than to be a little long. I was very hesitant to tell you a number of pages because I'll tell you what happens usually. If I ask a class for 5 pages, I'll tell you what I get. I get 4.72 pages, of which about 3.3 are absolute junk. Okay? Because people are trying to fill up the page count. And they're not really worried about what they have to say. That's, am I going to make the page count? I don't care about the page count. I want to know what you have to say on the problem. I want you to know what your thoughts are. I think the most important words I can ask in any class are, what do you think? That's exactly what I'm asking here. So let's see if we can apply the principles, do it in a concise, clearly stated way, and if you have any questions about anything, I'm open to answering them, and I'll try to get back to you so as soon as I can. You'll see, as you see, there's no discussion board this week. The idea is to concentrate on this essay, this paper, this midterm grade, and then we're going to move on towards the last 3 weeks, and I think do some interesting stuff as we go along. So again, thank you for your patience. The grades are all caught up, and let's go forward from there, and good luck with all the work this week. Thank you.